As we approach 1 year since the official start of the pandemic, there are still many unanswered questions about the coronavirus. Among them, China's handling of the virus at its supposed origin, Wuhan. The city reported its first known case back in December 2019, and then Wuhan went into a strict lockdown between January and April of 2020. With a population greater than that of New York City, it was one of the largest quarantines in history. The documentary 76 Days, shortlisted for an Oscar, tells the stories of healthcare workers and patients in 4 Wuhan hospitals at the brink of capacity, with too many patients showing up all at once. 76 Days is available on Paramount Plus, the Viacom CBS streaming service, and co-director, writer, and producer Hao Wu joins us now. Hao, good morning to you. This is an extraordinary documentary. There are no sit-down interviews. There's no TV news footage brought in. It is all propulsive, on-the-scene coverage from 2 anonymous reporters who somehow got their way into these 4 hospitals there in Wuhan. When you were taking in the footage as director, was there a moment when you thought to yourself, first of all, whoa, this is a big deal, and second of all, it's going to go way beyond Wuhan?
I think I got the first batch of footage coming in. I was in New York while my co-directors were filming in Wuhan. I remember in mid-February, I got the first batch of footage. I watched it. I was immediately blown away because up to that point, I had read so much about what was happening in Wuhan through mostly print media, news media. But I had never had such a sort of like on the wall, a fly on the wall evidence to see what's happening on the front line. So it was really extremely moving and harrowing at the same time. Yeah. And I immediately realized I needed to work with these 2 to work on the film.
So here in the U.S., we always hear about restrictions in China, the government cracking down on journalists, people not getting access, and then here this documentary has extraordinary access. How were your 2 anonymous reporters on the ground able to obtain it?
My co-director, Wei Chen, he's a video reporter for Esquire China, but he wasn't actually sent by Esquire to cover the beat. He's also an aspiring documentary filmmaker himself. So as soon as he learned about the Wuhan lockdown, he just went down there. But he was turned away by 4 different hospitals before he found, through personal connection, to embed himself with a medical team that was being sent from elsewhere in China to support a local hospital. And the local hospital, seeing him arriving together with the medical team, for a while they thought he was working for the medical team. That's how he got access. And with my other co-director, Anonymous, he's a photojournalist for a local newspaper, and he was basically assigned to take photos for their print news stories. That's how he gained access.
It's amazing. You know, politics, global politics, American politics, Chinese politics are kind of outside the purview of the footage, except for one moment on the street where you can hear a loudspeaker say people shouldn't believe rumors. We have to pull together as a collective. Given that politics is put aside in this, when you were editing it, you had to consider the bigger picture. And I'm curious, the president of China praises the country's handling of the pandemic there. Would you agree?
I think both countries, there are something that the government did right, and also something lacking in their COVID-19 response. That's just not just happening in China, but also here as well. Because I was in New York witnessing how the U.S. Completely failed in its early response to COVID-19, and the panic it was causing among the population here in New York City. But as I was making this film, I think I truly just want to value the raw footage coming from the front line, and also the extremely human story, individual human story that's captured in their footage. At the same time, I just feel like right now, since we're still living through the pandemic, it's a little bit too early to draw any conclusion in terms of whether any government did what right.
Well, Hao Wu, it's extraordinary footage captured under extraordinary risk from 2 collaborators in Wuhan, China. Thank you very much for bringing it to us. It's a great documentary, and we appreciate you being on this morning. As we mentioned, you can watch 76 Days on the new Viacom CBS streaming service. It is called Paramount Plus.